Hi, everybody. I'm very excited to be here with my friend Cindy Citrone today. Cindy is the co-founder and CEO of the Citrone 33 Foundation, who has become a great partner with Second Chance Fundraising over the last few years. So welcome, Cindy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Pumper.
Thank you. Yeah, Cindy loves calling me Pumper because that's the only time she really sees me is when I'm dressed up as our mascot. So Cindy, the first thing I wanted to ask about is I know that you have a personal family connection to donation. So can you tell us a little bit about that connection?
Yeah. My father-in-law was on a formal wait list for a kidney because he's in end stage renal disease, and unfortunately never received a kidney. So it's sort of what motivated us to how can we help him, and how can we stop this tragedy of not having enough available transplants available. So we became personally motivated by watching his struggles.
Yeah, so the first time I met you guys was with the Play It Forward campaign in
Mhm.
2017. And I don't even know if you actually know how we first got connected with that. So we with Second Chance Fundraising, we actually had planned a night for Pumper to throw out the first pitch of the Pirate game. And we had that planned and ready to go. And then like a week beforehand, the Pirates called us and said, hey, we have this other organization that's doing an organ donation night. Do you want to team up? And it happened to be you guys.
Right.
And that's been fantastic because that led us to meeting, and I've been working with you guys ever since. So can you tell us a little bit about the Play It Forward campaign and maybe
Yeah,
what you guys
it
learned?
was it was a great night for us. And just even something to touch on there, what's really important for the Citrone 33 Foundation is collaboration. None of us can do any of this work alone. So we loved that opportunity. As I mentioned, my father-in-law, when it became apparent to us, that he wasn't going to get a transplant, and we realized how difficult families that are facing these issues get through, we actually convened a panel on what we could do to really move the needle in the field. We thought it might be a research project or something about, sponsoring development of this project. And it was interesting when we convened 40 of the leading authorities or experts in organ transplantation and donation. They came together and they said the asset you're not using is your relationship with the Pittsburgh Steelers and with the sports area. That in Pittsburgh at the time, I believe 40 to 45% were registered donors, but 95% of people supported it. They said if we could get the message across using the power of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which we're a minority owner of and such, we really think that we could increase registration, which increases availability, which increases donation, which increases transplantation, which leads us to this beautiful moment, 5 years. So we went to the Steelers and said, would you do a day? And they said, absolutely. We had worked in the team, in the city. And to your point, everyone likes to work together. The Pirates said, why don't we do a day as well? And then the Penguins said, why don't we do a day as well? And even then the major universities. And before we were done in the 6-month movement, 35 major groups in Pittsburgh had combined to do common messaging. Now, in before, it's always been a cause. The Pirates sort of did their donation day and the Steelers did theirs, but no one really united under common theming, common messaging in a very concentrated time. So that effort of the city of Pittsburgh over that 6 months led to over 5 million impressions, led to raising $3 million, led to exposure at over 70 events. And as we did down to the math, led to, I think, like 11,000 people who possibly could be affected,
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people don't understand is just one person being an organ donor can make such a difference. They can save 8 people outright by donating their organs, and then with tissue and cornea donations, they can affect 75 of their lives. So you're talking about a footprint, and it's really just exponential how much of the impact it can take. So, well, since that campaign, you have started a new movement here in Pittsburgh called Embrace Pittsburgh, which I've worked with a little bit, but I'm still trying to. COVID has put a kind of a squash to some of that stuff as far as my involvement. So, Embrace's message is really about mental health. I'll let you kind of tell the story, but how has this new endeavor with mental health kind of gone hand in hand with the organ donation community?
Yeah, absolutely. So embrace is that you're embracing the power of empathy, mindfulness, balance, resilience, accepting, coping, which all lead to enlightenment. And I'm sure in your journey, Craig, you know that you needed every one of those skills, and you still need every one of those skills is when you get up. So we're finding that those skills are very applicable in the transplant and donation community. So we are working with the Starzl Center for Pediatric Excellence to build out programming curriculum to support well-being, both pre-transplant, post-transplant, actually for the rest of your life, and using these skills to, really improve your day-to-day, making it just better of who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited for what the future holds with you guys and your organization. Hopefully, we can get the COVID situation under control, and Pumper can get out there and start advocating for Embrace, and we can start working together on some projects once again.
I got to see, like, doesn't Pumper do TikTok or something? I mean, he's got to be able to do something.
We haven't dived into the TikTok world yet, but we'll do some other fun stuff.
I'm going to throw that challenge out to you, because whereas COVID has been an incredible challenge, it's also opened up opportunities in connecting to people virtually. I should mention that this year's transplant camps to all the children of the Pediatric Network were all done virtual, and they had greater participation than they ever had. Because especially in this community, you guys know what it's like to have to be quarantined in,
right,
to have to wear a mask, to be careful. So maybe there'll be some silver linings out of this too. Just like your wonderful 5-year anniversary and all you've given back to the transplant donation community is an amazing silver lining and a gift. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And it's great to have partners like Embrace and Play It Forward and Citrone 33 Foundation. It's been a lot of fun to work with you guys over the last few years and get out in Pittsburgh more than I would have the opportunity to otherwise. So looking forward to more on that. And
absolutely,
thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Can't wait for the next 25 and then some. So.
That's right.